bulkheads are made out of peanut brittle, and they're gonna blast off to oblivion.
A lot of people's panties are up and they're tight.
Thank you to Noom for sponsoring this week's video.
I'm Kristen, and this is Matt. We've spent the last 4 years sailing our $5,000 Craigslist boat to some of the most beautiful places in the Caribbean. From spearfishing in South Andros, Bahamas, staying in a treehouse and riding horses through the rainforest of the Dominican Republic, to even dodging hurricanes in Puerto Rico. We could have never imagined what this adventure would become. After gaining more sailing experience, we knew we had to make some serious upgrades to our boat if we wanted to keep this journey going. So we decided to go all in with our 40-year-old boat and get a new engine. We soon realized that we were in for more projects than we originally planned on. There's going to be some major changes coming up, so hit subscribe and join us for the journey. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sailing GBU. We are back from our vacation. You didn't even notice because we pre-scheduled our videos and we zammed back to Florida, back to Puerto Rico in 2 weeks, and you didn't even notice. We're back at the boat and the projects are still here, surprisingly.
Yeah, I gave the guy at the boatyard 20 bucks before I left, and I said, hey, when I come back, I want everything done. But I think he just took the 20 and ran on me, because really not that much got done. So we're back in the projects. And you know what? We're a little bit rusty, because we took a little break from the boat life, but I think we're going to snap right back into it. We got a lot of work to do, and time to get to work.
All right, so we do have a big elephant in the room that we're going to address. A couple elephants in the room, but we're gonna get to that in a little bit. Let's start off right into our next project that we're jumping on.
A lot of these projects we've been getting ahead of ourselves, but today we're actually getting into the head ourselves. And we're gonna fix the head of our boat. For one, when I put this brand new tullet in that flushes itself, I put it a little bit too high. It's perfect for me, but everybody else's feet are still dangling, which isn't really fun to do when you're sailing around the world. So I got to get my toilet all in there, and I have to get all this rotten stuff cut out of my shower. Obviously, through the 40 years, the shower took some water damage, so I got some fiberglass work and some framing to do in there so that I can move forward. I'm working on my blank slate so that Kristen can come in and get the tiles, get the paints, get the accoutrements lined up. So I'm working on the blank canvas today. Basically, I found where the rod is. It's at the bottom. I'm going to say it's probably about, 12 inches. It's the bottom foot is rotten. So around this whole bottom, I'm going to take the rotten section out. This is a disgusting rot that we wanted to get rid of here. Okay, so all this here is still good wood, no big deal, nothing too crazy to have to deal with there. So I'm feeling good about that. Got this out, I'll be able to replace this.
And now we got a shower stall.
And now we got a shower stall. Alright guys, so let's talk about Noom for a second. As we all know on this channel, we have a very active physical approach to the cruising lifestyle. We pull the anchor, we hand steer, and we load the dinghy motor by hand. All of this relies on us being very physically fit. With our non-traditional day-to-day life, we can easily get thrown off track. Bad weather, limited food options, and even a few too many sundowners can throw a wrench in things pretty quickly. That's where Noom comes in really handy. Noom helps you learn about the psychology and the science behind eating better and exercising. It also has some great tools like hydration, food, and exercise logs. I noticed almost immediately that I was not having enough water daily, and I was able to improve on that almost immediately. One lesson that really stood out to me was breaking the behavior chain. It was really cool to learn about how different social and environmental situations can trigger different responses. So click the link below or head over to noom.com/sailinggbu to take your free evaluation. It's a quick and easy way to help you set up your custom plan. Now, back to the video.
Alright guys, now that we've got that all cleaned up, it's time to cut the wood and make our shower stall back into a regular shower.
Alright guys, moment of truth after my cuts, ready to see if these fit. One thing that's really fun, I don't know about you craftsmen out there, but when your wife makes YouTube channels, you get to put it in and see if it fits right, and then everyone gets to see if you failed and didn't cut it properly. You know, if y'all weren't around, I could put it in here a few times and make sure it was perfect, and then I could just say, act like I was the perfect carpenter every time, but
I like to watch your failure.
she likes to watch the failure. So first things first, let's see if this first one fits in. I know it goes in here some dang way.
I don't know what's going on.
It's a slight quadrilateral move. Okay, so this is the right height. So maybe this way. Nope. Didn't quite get it there. All right, order number 2. Bam. That looking good.
That
to
one
me.
fits?
That one fit.
Better?
Much better.
Ta-da!
I like it's filled in because I got a fiberglass it all in there, so I wanted a little bit of extra room. You know, a lot of people say measure twice and cut once, but I'm kind of an overachiever, so I like to measure 4 or 5 times and still cut 2 or 3 times because I just like to go a little above, a little extra. So, you know, to all my overachievers out there, let me know. Is it measure twice, cut once, or measure 3 times and still cut twice? I don't know.
Before we get to fiberglassing and getting that wood put into the shower, we thought we would answer some of your questions, the elephant in the room as we'd call it, our bulkheads. We've seen all the concerns. A lot of people's panties are up and they're tight. And we just want to loosen them up a little. We just want to ease some of the concerns and hopefully answer some of your questions. So let's get right into it.
Before I get into explaining, kind of answering some of these questions, I guess, I want to kind of do a disclaimer here that this is all coming from love. All the comments we read, even when you say, Matt, you're a dip, you're going to kill yourself out there, it's always like followed by, but I love the channel and I really just wish you guys the best. We know that this is coming from like a more of a point of concern, not a point of like agitation or hating our guts. And our answering to the questions, even though I can kind of be a little brash sometimes and short, it's not coming from that for me either. I know there's a lot of knowledge out there for you guys, but for my journey, this trip that I've been on, it was to do things less traditionally, of course, and not always the West Marine way, because in my travelings, being throughout developing countries here in the Caribbean and, you know, meeting people that do it at all different economic levels, the West Marine way is not an option for some people. So if that's not an option for you and you still want to go out and live this life, I like to kind of show things like that, and I like to experiment. This is a thing that I own, and I get to try it however I want to try it, and I love that. But that being said, we're not going to die. These bulkheads are going to work amazing the same way that my Home Depot rigging worked amazing, the same reason that all my fiberglass patches worked amazing, the same reason that I put my rudder on by myself in the water and bolted it back on in Key West, the same reason that I backpack clipped on my jib and sailed through gales with it. We're going to survive this, not because we followed the rules, but because I'm the man and everybody needs to know it.
What the?
Just kidding. We're going to survive because we work hard, we're smarter than we look, and we're going to, you know, we're going to make it out.
We're smarter than we look? I feel like I look pretty smart.
Well, I'm smarter than I look then. Kristen's equally as smart as she looks.
And we're not a how-to channel, and we're not doing our boat for the next guy who's going to own it. We might not ever sell this boat.
We're not a how-to channel in that respect, but we are a how-to channel if you want to buy a crappy boat and just live that gangster life. But we paid for it in a lot of ways for frustration. Peep the hairline. Ain't nothing coming back from it,
Yeah, whatever.
dog.
You're bald since I met you.
All right, let's get into it. One of the comments that we got a lot was that my chain plates are just simply going to fly away like these bulkheads are made out of peanut brittle and they're going to blast off to oblivion. That is not true. One of the reasons I know it's not true is because when I put these in, I took my loose gauge, and I tensioned them to like 70% of their breaking strength on all 6 stays. So this is a lot stronger than the swage fittings and the turnbuckles. Those will snap and break and fail before these ever come ripping out of the deck. This is 3 layers. I am going to add another layer of woven roven. It's really, it's just a really heavy thickness of the fiberglass. I really don't think I need to. I think that this would suffice, but just to add a little bit more strength because I will be building shelves onto here, I want a little bit more stiffness in this. So, and then I'm also going to be tabbing it to the deck, and I'll be tabbing in some of my shelves as well. So guys, listen, these I assure you will not pull out under sail and under load because the whole boat moves. It's not like a tower that's attached to the ground where just the tower moves. The boat moves when the sail moves. When enough wind goes in the sail to put a lot of pressure on it, the boat starts moving toward that way as well. So if I run aground, then I might have to worry about that, but I got bigger problems anyway at that point. Another comment was that I'm cutting corners, I'm going to pay for it, or I'm trying not to spend too much money because it'd be too expensive to do too many layers. That's not the case. This is like $300 per gallon, and I'm already on through my 2nd kit, and I'm going into my 3rd. So I already have like $1,000 almost into just fiberglass resin. What I was saying was to do it up to the old fillings, it would have been to do, because it's just a little bit thinner. I think we've learned in life that materials have gotten better. Thinner and stronger are 2 things that go together now. Back in the 70s, it was thicker is stronger. We were cavemen. They were just adding and adding and adding. Now every boat that gets made is a 1/4 inch thick. It weighs half the weight as this boat. So you can go a little bit thinner and still acquire the same amount of strength. That's what I was saying with that, because to get a 1/2 inch of fiberglass with this epoxy resin, it would take gallons upon gallons for each bulkhead. So what I'm saying is that maybe there was just something lost in translation there. You can still do it a little bit thinner and still have the strength there. This stuff is definitely stronger than what I took out. I don't know if you guys saw the old bulkheads, but they were basically paper mache, and I put 3,000 miles on those old bulkheads. So if the bulkheads weren't flying out and the chain planes weren't taking off with that, I can't imagine they're going to take off now. It's me, back from the dead. So, you guys, some of you have a flair for the dramatic here, just like myself, and I appreciate that. But saying that we're going to die, the boat's going to rip into 2 half pieces, that's a little wild, guys. We're really out here pretending that boats don't demast, and then they just pull the mast back on the boat and tie it up and motor in. Remember, guys, we're getting a new motor. We're adding safety to this boat. So even if, on the outside chance that I were to completely screw the pooch here and demast my boat,
Screw the pooch.
I would just pull the mast up and go out there and get saved. And we can't act like the Coast Guard ain't there for a reason. I'm a tax-paying citizen.
Matt's trying to
Just hoping
say
some idiot like
is
me will
that
go out
we
there.
actually are pretty safe, even though it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, we pick really
We're gonna do
good weather
test
windows and
runs
stuff.
after our repairs, and we're gonna take everything easy. We're gonna look after everything. We're not gonna just go out there hee-hawing with our overalls on and straw in our mouth saying "Yee-hoo!"
unless
into the strongest wind.
I get 50,000 likes on this, and then I will wear shirtless hee-haw overalls the whole way for the rest of my sailing trip. But yeah, guys, we're not going to die. Trust me. Put that away. No death here. One other one was saying that we didn't take off the chain plates and actually polish them down and inspect all of those. That's just coming later. It wasn't something we had time to do that week. Things were moving pretty fast. I didn't want to leave my chain plates off because, you know, the mast wobbles around. So I wanted to get my rigging back on relatively quickly because, you know, it's stormy here. There's a lot of bad weather. So we're going to be getting new fasteners, new bolts for this. And once we do that, then we'll give them a really good look over just to make sure we don't need to get some new chain plates fabricated. But yeah.
We've had chain plates break before.
They've broken. It's one of those things of you can just, realistically, you can tie your rigging down with a rope if things go crazy. You just literally tie a knot in the cable, run a bunch of ropes to your tow rail, fasten it down. Trust me, guys, I got a lot of experience. We've blown stays before back in the day, and it's not like as dire as you make it sound. If you're racing around the world nonstop, yeah, you're going to hit some horrible weather. But you pick your good weather, pay attention to what's going on. We hand steer, so we're never just down here making Mai Tais and just letting the boat do its own thing. We actually drive this boat, always. So we're very in tune with what's happening, and trust me, we're gonna show our chain plate some love, so you guys can relax on that one.
All right, guys, and there's one more rumor that has nothing to do with bulkheads that we got to clear up. We don't know what happened. I think someone played a prank on us or something, and someone announced that we were buying an Alba, what?
45.
An Alba 45.
Alba 45.
Like, we were out buying $500,000 boats and just pretending to be working on our old boat.
Yeah,
and that is not true.
Somebody said, joke's on us. They're just trying to worry their subscribers. Okay, listen, guys. I would never punk somebody like that. If I were to make a big joke, it would be much more creative than I'm going to kill myself fixing this old boat. So, yeah, I don't know what happens.
Our Patreons would know at least first.
Yeah, there's no way that the announcement would be made on some other crazy, you know, channel or something like that. So, I don't know what happened, but we are definitely not getting a $500,000 to $1 million catamaran.
I mean, I would love one.
Yeah, one day, that'd be great. Believe me, the day that I got $500,000 to blow on a cat, I'm blowing it. I'm making it rain in the club. But that, unfortunately for us, is not happening just yet. So, please, guys, in the comments, we're not pulling tricks on you. We're committed to the old girl for a couple more years. We almost bought a new boat back in the day, but it still wasn't a 45-foot cat. But if you know anybody that's letting one go for maybe like $250, you know, I can sell my soul for that. You know, I can try to get a loan, sell a kidney or something, and we'll go ahead and make it ride.
We got to get back to our boat.
All right, so with this, I'm going to, because it's in the shower, I'm going to do a little bit overboard here, and I'm going to completely seal in all of this with epoxy resin, just because I want it to be completely waterproof. These new pieces that I'm putting in and screwing in, I need them to be nice under there, because once I Bondo over it to make everything smooth, then put some fiberglass to make it waterproof from the outside. I want to make sure if any water ever does get in here, it's fully enclosed.
So after we sealed the wood, we're letting that dry in there. We went to eat lunch, and now we're going to head to the toilet head section of the projects. We need to take that out, unplug it, basically unscrew the pipes. I don't know what it's called. You know what I'm saying. We need to get it out of the bathroom, and then we need to make the perfect stand for our toilet to be at the correct height.
Alright, so first things first, I'm going to get the water out of here, and how I'm going to do that is shut off my seacock, and then just flush the toilet, and that should get rid of most of the water.
It would help if you shut it instead of opening it.
Here I go. So now that I got the toilet out of here, I gotta get the toilet out of here. Somebody says toilet. I think it's like a northern thing maybe. I don't know. Let me know where they say toilet at. But I have to frame it in, and then once it's framed in, I'll use some Bondo to fill in any cracks. Obviously, we know I'm not the best cutter in the world. Then I'll be fiberglassing the whole thing in, and it'll be ready for paint and re-toilet install. So I got my subfloor in, nice and smooth. It wasn't without a couple of hiccups, but you know, I think it came out all right. Rock solid. And let's check the height now to see if the throne is proper.
Well,
good feet planted firmly on the ground. Seems a lot more solid than the old one that used to rock back and forth. It's not even screwed down yet, but I'm hyped about it.
let me see. All right, here we go. Oh, wow! 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 This is good! I like this! This is a lot better, everyone! Good job, Matt! Alright guys, so we ran out of time for this video. We'll have to come back on the next episode, and that's when we're going to start fiberglassing and filling and smoothing out the bathroom areas.
Yep, filling, smoothing, making it all beautiful and perfect, and adding probably a little more love to those bulkheads since y'all were so dang upset about it. It goes against my better judgment just to throw some stuff on there, but y'all made us do it to make you feel better. We'll let it rip.
So stay tuned, subscribe to see next week's video, and if you guys didn't notice, I got a new tee on. I'm wearing one of the new skull shirts, and it says Sailing Good, Bad, and Ugly, obviously, and there's nothing on the back, so it's really simple. You can wear this out. It's not like, wow, big Sailing Good, Bad, and Ugly lover. It's like, hey, I like Sailing Good, Bad, and Ugly. I'm supporting them. And this tri-blend situation here that they have on the website is probably my favorite tee. It's the softest. It's where it's at.
They stepped up their game a little bit, so, you know, the quality went up on Teespring, I'd say.
Yeah, it did. So check it out, and we'll see you guys next week. You have anything else to say?
Yeah, also, this is kind of a shameless plug with the merch, but we got new t-shirts also called Salty or Not, Here We Come. I think it's like our play on Ready or Not, Here We Come, because salty or not means like we may not have all the experience, but at the end of the day, it's all been working out so far. All the crazy stuff I ever did worked out well, and you know what? Even if you don't know everything about yachtsmanship, I think that's a word, you can still go for it. So, salty or not, here we come. Don't worry about my
if you're on
page.
that team, check it out. I'll be wearing that shirt. I wear my shirts when we work, but he doesn't because he'll ruin them.
I'll ruin them. They'll be ruined.
You'll see that on another episode, but we'll see you guys next week. Like, subscribe, and bye.